battles when it comes to conflict are won at approach level, not at conversation level.
These are people that are just living past each other in the house, but they don't have that quality time where they are just sitting and taking in each other's presence.
We are strong in different areas, and we should appreciate those areas about each other.
You don't have to beg for support from your spouse.
Hello family, welcome to Finding Beauty in Marriage, your podcast for all things marriage, and the place where we build beautiful, meaningful and fulfilling marriages. And as always, you know I'm not alone. I'm with my ravishingly gorgeous and short-haired wife, who's also my co-host, Matapelo Maluka. Say hi, Shugu.
Hello everybody, thank you for joining us today, and I hope we have a great time as we always do.
Yeah, definitely we're gonna be having a great time today. How are you feeling in this cold?
I feel cold, I feel sleepy, I'm always hungry. It's a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay, so today I have a surprise question for you.
For me?
Yeah, for you. Are you happy?
I am.
Okay. Are we doing well in our marriage?
I believe so, yes. Yes, we are actually. We are.
Okay.
We are on the right track.
Okay. And what makes you say that?
Mainly because we get each other, and we are there for each other. We support each other, and most importantly, emotionally, we are connecting so well. Our communication is doing well. So I can say that we are doing well, because all the things that for me say that our marriage is doing well are ticked.
Okay.
So far so good. You are doing well.
All right.
Yeah, we won't be doing well if we are not doing well. So thank you for that, and thank you to myself.
Yeah, thank you too. Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Yeah. So it is a combined effort. I mean, we won't be doing well if only one of us was putting in the effort.
Pushing,
we are doing well.
Yeah. I think you know why I'm asking these questions.
Yeah. Now I know. Now I know.
Okay. Take us through what we'll be talking about today.
So today we are talking about signs that your marriage is doing well.
Yeah.
Right? Like your question just exposed me right now. So
sorry, I just threw a curveball on you there.
Yeah. So a marriage that is doing well is a sign that two people are committed to making the marriage work.
Yeah.
And they want a happy and a beautiful marriage, because you can't want a happy and a beautiful marriage if you're not going to work at your marriage, right? So you will not do well in marriage without intentionality. You have to be intentional about what you want to see manifest in your marriage, and you need to put in that which you want to see manifesting. You can take these points that we are going to share and see how you are doing as a couple, and also if you need to adapt some, please do adapt some, and if you want to keep doing some so that you can maintain the well-being of your marriage, do so, because I believe that they're going to shed a light and they're going to impact your marriage in a beautiful way.
Sure. So we are talking signs your marriage is doing well, and I think it's important to note that the list that we have is not comprehensive.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we try to come up with as many points we can come up with, at least to give you a start, you know, as the listener, to give you a start, to be able to have something to measure against.
Yeah, to know what to look out for.
Yeah, rather than not having anything at all. So if you don't have these things in place or in your mind, just at least now you'll after this episode, you'll have some of the things to look out for, to just weigh if your marriage is actually doing well, you know. But it's not a comprehensive list, so there might be other things, and it would be interesting, you know, to find out from you as the listener what are some of the things that we didn't count or that we didn't mention that you can that you
Share with
use
us,
for yourself
definitely.
that you use as a pointer or as pointers that your marriage is actually doing well. So I will begin. Number one, signs that your marriage is doing well. There is mutual respect in the marriage. There's mutual respect in the marriage. When we talk about respect, usually we refer to men, but that respect needs to be going both ways. And if you are in a family setting, respect needs to be going pretty much everywhere, to the kids, to the wife, to the helper, everywhere,
Definitely.
But because we are talking about relationships, we are looking at mutual respect between the husband and the wife, right? So what is mutual respect? Mutual respect means treating people with dignity. It also means recognizing their value. And I think it's so important to notice your partner's value and what they bring what do you bring to the table. I heard someone saying, I'm the table, boo-boo. But it's really about mutual respect is about that, it's about treating people with dignity, recognizing that this is a person that needs to be respected, and recognizing that they have something to bring into this world. This is not outside anyway. But like we always say, everything we teach here can be applied anywhere in life. So mutual respect needs to be everywhere. But in the context of a relationship, it means both partners value each other's opinions, first of all. It means if we have different opinions, I don't feel like you are disrespectful, or I don't feel like you are stupid, or simply because you have a different opinion from mine. When you have a different opinion, because there's mutual respect between us, I need to respect that you are a different person, I'm a different person, and therefore we are allowed to have different opinions. And it also means having different opinions doesn't in any way threaten our relationship. We can have our different opinions without threatening the relationship that we are in or our marriage. For instance, if you decide to choose a career, right, that may need us to do some adjustments, I need to be able to respect you having that choice that is different from what maybe we had initially agreed to. But obviously, after we've spoken about it, I still need to be able to respect your decision for that new career, even though it will require us to make some adjustments. The condition, though, is that those adjustments don't hamper the quality of the relationship, But I respect you. Mutual respect means we honor each other's boundaries. So as a person, you'll always have boundaries, whether married or not. Well, I hope so. I hope you have the boundaries, But it also means it means I respect your boundaries, first of all, even the boundaries of personal time and space, even while we are married. Right? Because there are times when you want to speak to God on your own, maybe about me, and I do
Definitely
that too.
About you. I'm joking.
I do that too. I do talk to the Lord about you, and it's not always
bad things.
Sometimes I do want to talk the good stuff, but just me and Him, so that it doesn't feel like I'm buying your face, while you are there. Now I polish my prayer. I want to be vulnerable with God in that I want to thank Him and just honor Him for the person that you are, without feeling like I am saying those things for you to hear me. So it's that still needs to be respected. If I ask for
personal time,
that personal space, that needs to be respected, and it doesn't apply only to prayer. This is just an example. It applies to a lot of other things. Honoring boundaries also means, so we're still talking mutual respect here. Mutual respect means I honor your boundaries, and that one of the boundaries, as an example, would be that I avoid doing things that will cause emotional hurt, emotional discomfort and distress to you. You know, we need to I see you smiling. I'm not too sure.
I'm
what's
thinking of
happening.
something. There's this thing that is going in my mind, the emotional damage. So I'm laughing.
I just saw you smiling, so
I'm sorry.
I had to probe there.
Yeah,
Because I knew something was happening in your mind.
Yeah, that's social media for you. Can really mess up your mind. Yeah.
But yeah, we honor boundaries.
Yeah.
I think I need to say this. Mutual respect means there's equal partnership, right? There's equal partnership between you and I, in that I need to respect the fact that you bring something into the house. You bring something into my life.
Yeah.
You bring something emotionally into my life. You bring something. There's so many things that you bring into my life that I need to be cognizant of, and also just recognize that you bring these things into my life, and I can't afford to treat you disrespectfully because I feel like you don't have any value, because disrespect really comes from the fact that you don't
regard the other person.
You don't regard the other person, you don't value them. So I need to be able to see those things in order for me to actually respect you. You know, mutual respect also means there's mutual support, but most importantly it means there's no dominance. Right? There's no dominance between each other. There are times when the men would be usually because men earn more, right? The men would feel like they are the boss of the house because they bring bacon. That then creates an unhealthy power play where the husband is the boss and everyone else, or he's the king and everyone else is the subjects. You know, but in the context of marriage, we need to realize that there shouldn't be any dominance.
Yeah.
None of us should seek to control the other person. None of us should seek to dominate the other person.
Yeah.
Decisions are made collaboratively. It means we speak about every single decision that needs to be made in this house for both the family and us as the couple.
Yeah.
That also means the power dynamics are balanced, and by that I mean there are things that you are strong in. There are things that I'm definitely strong in, and I shouldn't use my strong points to dominate you, but I should use my strong points to feed into the marriage, because I know you, on the other hand, are strong with other things, and I wouldn't expect you to use those things to dominate me, but instead we use our strong points to feed into the marriage. An example of this with our marriage is that I'm good in making money. You know, I'll find ways to make money, but I'm terrible at spending it. You know, I'm mostly wasteful. I don't go to the shop and
You're not wasteful.
Well, not wasteful, but still,
you just like snacks a lot.
I just like to buy stuff. You know? If I like a gadget, I will buy it. You know, but you, on the other hand, you know how to spend the money wisely. You know what needs to go to the saving, what needs to go to the investments, what needs to go to, whatever. You know, and that's where we complement one another. It means I'll bring the money. You will sit and talk. We sit and talk, and then once you've shared how you plan to use it, I mean, I don't have a choice but to say yes, because it makes sense. You know, you are powerful, you are strong in that area, and therefore I should let you lead in that area. Although, I mean, maybe those are the wrong words. I'm using lead in a very light manner. So for everyone who's listening, I'm using it very lightly. But I need to let you take the upper hand there, so that you move our marriage forward. And that's what, in a nutshell, mutual respect means. All these things are covered, and we respect one another fully, without reservation.
Awesome. All right, thank you for that. Number 2.
Yes.
Open and honest communication. There's really not much to say here because it comes up in every episode.
Every episode.
You know, it cannot be exhausted, but there's really not much we can say that we haven't covered.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it is when you and your partner feel comfortable sharing your thoughts and your feelings, right? Without fear of judgment. For example, you are able to discuss your emotions openly without anxiety, and you receive and give support to each other during tough times. Open and honest communication opens up you to your spouse, and it allows them to know you, the real you. It allows them to know how you think and how you feel, and this will create intimacy at all levels and a great sense of connection and a bond. A beautiful and a happy marriage is when there is no hiding and no feelings of shame, or there is no bondage, right? But there is freedom and authenticity. When this is your marriage, it is a sign that you are not only doing well in your marriage, but you are also doing well in your communication.
Yeah. And I mean, communication is key, like we always say. It comes up every time. There is no way we can speak marriage without speaking communication. Because the moment you stop talking communication, that's when all the problems come. You know, you find that there's financial problems, there's intimacy problems, there's parenting style problems, and you trace down all these
back to communication
problems. You find that communication is really at the bottom of all of them. You know, so when you talk about communication, please don't skip because you've heard enough about it. You know, just listen. There might be a new nugget there that you might need, but it really goes to show how important
it is,
how important communication is. Number 3, we are talking shared goals and values. Shared goals mean you work together towards common goals, such as having a house, or planning for your children's education, you know, buying a car, how you want to see your marriage in the future. You know, it's really about putting goals that are common to both of you, not just one person. Right? This alignment creates some sense of unity, you know, because you know you are unified towards one goal. And it creates that sense of purpose that we've been speaking about in the previous episodes, that your marriage needs to have purpose. When you have a goal, it creates that sense of, okay, we have something to live for, you know, we have something to work towards. You know, it also having shared goals and values also means you have aligned life plans, right? You have aligned life plans. In other words, you share the same vision of the future. It's so hard to do life, especially in the context of marriage, when you have different views of what the future needs to look like. It makes it really hard because it means everything that you do on a daily basis would be different. And the differences between what you do on a daily basis are what would set you or would push you apart from each other. Because there is nothing, if the goal is different, it means what we are doing on a daily basis will be different. And if that is different, we are going to have limited touch points. We talk about this in our counseling sessions. You know, when couples really don't have many things that bind them together, it's almost like everyone is living their individual lives, but they live in the same house. You know, and that becomes a huge problem because when things don't go well in the marriage, you look around and you realize you have no one, although you have a spouse. You know, you start realizing, but
you are alone.
I'm alone here. I do this alone, I do that alone, I do this alone, I do that alone. And you realize it's because you don't have the shared goals. And without shared goals being clearly defined, what you are going to be doing on a daily basis is going to be different. And those differences are what's going to destroy you, right? Still speaking about an aligned life plan, there needs to be an agreement on financial priorities. You know, there needs to be an agreement on how much are we saving, how much are we spending, you know, how much are we investing. Both of you need to be agreeing upon that, even if one of you is making the money.
Yeah.
Both of you need to agree. Speaking to men now, we will always prioritize providing for the family, right? Women will always prioritize caring for the family. And those are two different things. And you find many times that the woman will even quit her job to take care of the family. And when that happens, it shouldn't say to the husband, now that I'm the only one making money, I need to decide where the money is going. She's still an integral part of you making the money.
Yeah.
Because without her handling the household, you would have to knock off early.
And handle the house.
And come and handle the house. You would not be able to do that overtime. You would not do that traveling because you need to take care of the house. So it's really
and
about
yourself.
and yourself, because women really look after everyone. You know, it's about caring for the house. And and we're like I've said, we are strong in different areas, and we should appreciate those areas about each other.
Yeah.
Now, still on sharing goals or shared goals and values, you need to have common interests. You know, these are some of the touch points that I've been talking about. You need to fight to have a lot of touch points as a couple. What do I mean by touch points? There are things that you need to intentionally do together.
Definitely.
Right? You need to be intentional about doing them together. If it's sharing the word together, do so. You know, if it's praying together, do so. If it's playing together, do so. You know, now I'm talking about interest. Have hobbies and activities that you both enjoy doing together, and intentionally do those together. You know, there's a couple we always say, we won't mention who they are. We're like, hey, these ones barata strata. You know?
Yeah.
But they do that because
that's what they love doing.
That's what they love doing, and they love doing it together. So, and they leave the kids behind, and they do this just the two of them. You know, they're always doing something out there. You know, and it's an important thing to have in a relationship. That you have those touch points, because there are times when marriage really gets hard, and these are the times that you relish upon. You know, you look back and you're like, you know what, I can go through this dark time that we're facing because I know
when it's good, it's good.
When it's good, it really is good. You know, there is a track record that my marriage is good, rather than not having anything to hold on to. And then when the stuff goes bad,
you drift further apart.
There's no reference point to say, what can I look to? And there's really no hope
that I can hold on to.
You haven't experienced it, so there's no way to say, if we can just pass this part, then I know we are gonna get back to normal. It feels like your new normal, you know, which is not a good thing to do. Still, in shared goals and values, you need to have mutual belief. Values and beliefs are usually guided by our spirituality. And I think we write about this in our book. If your spirituality is different from your spouse, chances are your values will be different. And chances are, it's not even chances, your beliefs are already different. You know, so you need to strive to have, and if you're not married, look for someone who's in the same faith as you, same
it easy.
Belief as you, same spirituality as you. It makes a whole lot of other things easy, because it means your values at that point are aligned. You know, having the same spiritual guidance means you are going to gravitate towards the same spiritual things, you know. And spirituality is a huge thing.
Yeah.
We are more spiritual beings than we are physical beings. True. That's how powerful spirituality is.
Yeah.
So if you are trying to pursue a life with someone who has a different spirituality, it kills quite a lot of things. You know, it's almost like there's no agreement in a spiritual level to begin with. And we know there is nothing as powerful as agreement in marriage. Anything that is agreement, especially that needs agreement in marriage, once you reach that agreement, God honors it, you know?
Yeah.
So when you are in different spiritualities, it becomes so much difficult to even reach that agreement on a spiritual level, because you are not of the same kingdom, if I may put it that way, you know, and that's why it's so important.
But then let me also just throw in a curveball here. How do we help a married couple that have different spiritual beliefs? You are already married, but you are different, and let's say one decides to retake upon their spirituality and be serious, and they see the other one is, what's the word that I'm looking for? They are not moving towards the same direction, and they want them to, right? You want them to jump on the same boat and move with you, right? But in the beginning, that's not how things were. You were okay with being in different boats, and the other one pushing their own agenda. But then you later realize in life, you know what, I really want my spouse to jump into the same boat with me. Now this is coming to the realization that, spirituality is really important, right? I'm more spiritual than I am physical, and I want them to join me so that we can ride the same wave. How do you help them? What do you say to them?
I nearly said unfortunately, but the Bible, and I'll reference the Bible because that's where my beliefs are. That's how I roll, right?
Yeah.
The Bible does say it is possible for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives us, luckily, it gives us a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
First of all, it says, do not leave them.
Yeah.
Because they are of a different spirituality. You know, you're already married. So the Bible says, do not leave them. I think what's more important here is to give your spirituality the attention it desires, right?
Yeah.
Because your wives, first of all, speaking from a husband's perspective, I am my wife's covering, right? So if I do what I need to be doing spiritually, I become your covering, even when you are not spiritually in the same boat as me, you know, because I'm not allowed to leave you. So I'll first be honoring God's word, and God will always honor the people who honor His word. Right. Secondly, from a wife's perspective, you do the same as the husband does. You know, you give your all to that spirituality that you have chosen for yourself. You know, do that because, especially, and I'm speaking this from a Christian perspective. I can't speak for other perspectives because I've never been there. But from a Christian perspective, that's what a husband does. You are your wife's covering. Now, from a wife's perspective, still Christian, you are your family's and your husband's sanctification. You know, what you do sanctifies them. You know, so don't be in dismay when these things are happening. That, I mean, continue to pray even for them. You know, because what you do will be a reward for your marriage, whether you are doing it as a husband or you are following your spirituality as a wife, you continue to pray for them. You continue to I don't want to say hope, but have faith that at some point in your lives they will come over to the other side, but during that time continue to do don't
leave them,
but also don't leave your spirituality
for them. Yeah.
You can have both of them. The Bible clearly tells us you can. If you are dating, well, there are many ways to
kill a cat.
If you are dating, let's talk. WhatsApp me, let's talk. I can tell you an easy way to get out. But that's how really. I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 1 to 16. It covers pretty much everything regarding that question.
The believing spouse.
Whether you're believing or not, don't leave them. Sanctify them through your dedication to the Lord, or as the husband, cover them. As one who believes in the Lord. And it's easier as the husband if you are already a believing husband for the rest of the family to follow you.
Yeah.
But if it's the other way around, it becomes
really
proven. It's so difficult, And just before maybe I let you speak, babe, people might have questions like these, right? We are planning to have a Q&A session. I don't know if it's gonna be live or it's gonna be pre-recorded. We are leaning towards pre-recorded. Pre-recorded. So please, if you have your questions, please leave them in the comments. Let us know what questions you have around marriage, and it doesn't have to be about anything specific. Anything that you have, really.
Relationships.
Relationship wise, put them in the comments. And we will make an episode solely dedicated to answering those questions. So please, while you're at that, please like, share, comment, and like, share, comment again.
For those that haven't subscribed,
please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if this is your first episode, there are 12 more episodes
that you have to
listen to for this to just make sense.
Down to the lighter things now. Number 4, right? This is number 4, enjoying quality time together. This is something that we have spoken about also in one of the episodes, so it might not be long also. So it is when you prioritize time together, whether it is a weekly date night or simply enjoying a quiet evening at home, right? When you're both looking forward probably to those Sunday morning walks at the park, or cuddling on a chair, on a sofa, and watching movies, right? When you enjoy spending time with your spouse, this means you have made them your friend. There is a certain level of connection and bond that you have with each other. Because there are people that never take their spouses anywhere, right? They've never been seen with their spouses. You know that they are married, but to who, you don't know, right? People don't know your spouse, and this is because they don't spend time together outside of the house. Where at home they are umama sekaya and no baba sekaya, and that's the only time that they spend at home, right? And even at home, your spouse doesn't know your touch. They don't know your cuddle. They don't know your smile, right? There's no eye contact. I heard one of the influencers, saying that he's a family therapist. He said a couple came to see them, and he told them to look at each other in the eyes in his counseling room, and he left them. Came back after some time, and they were like, you know what? We've never done this before. We don't look at each other in the eyes. That talks to, these are people that are just living past each other in the house, but they don't have that quality time where they are just sitting and taking in each other's presence, right? So you create and plan for quality time. It will not just magically happen. right? Life is demanding, and we intentionally give our best to the world. You give your best at work, you give your best to your children probably, or your friends and all of that. But when coming to our marriages, we just give it crumbs and our bare minimum.
You put your nice heels when you go to church, and when you go to...
You put on your weave, your best.
When you come home, you on
out.
flip-flops. Now I don't get to see what everyone else is seeing.
You saw it at church. What do you want? Yeah, that is just a topic for another day. Yeah, it's a topic that,
Controversy.
Yeah, very controversial. So, because women would say, but I want to be comfortable at home. That is where I must be myself. But men are like, but other men, get to see the best part. But when you're at home, I see your cheese cup, but when outside you have long hair. But that's another topic for another day. But your marriage is doing well when you are in the habit of planning and effortlessly and intentionally creating and having quality time together.
Yeah. Wow. And what you are saying leads me to number 5, right?
Yeah.
So number 5 is maintaining physical intimacy, and this just feeds into what you've just spoken about.
Yeah.
Physical affection, like holding hands, hugging, kissing, needs to be a regular part of your relationship.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be something that your spouse even has to ask for, that they are not being touched enough, that they feel that they are not kissed enough. This needs to be
automatic.
Yeah, it needs to be
natural.
It needs to be, I'm looking for a word, it needs to be part and parcel of your relationship, because it shows that you still find comfort in connecting with your spouse.
Yeah.
It's so important that, and we've spoken about physical intimacy when we're talking about intimacy just as a whole. But what physical intimacy does, first of all, it communicates that your spouse is wanted, right? Everyone wants to feel wanted, especially in a relationship setting. You don't want to be in a relationship with a person who treats you like a spare wheel, where they only come to you and show you affection when they need something. Like every time you're affectionate with me, now I'm suspicious. Or what does she want? Why is she kissing me? Does she want new shoes?
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Why is he so close to me? I think I remember, I don't know who we were talking to, babe, and I think they mentioned that the only time I know my husband wants sex is if they are affectionate just before bedtime. I don't remember where we heard that from, but that was like so, that hurt me, and I'm not even I'm not even a woman, but that hurt me. I think being physically intimate just communicates that your partner is wanted. It's important to exercise your sexual affection, which many times when you talk about intimacy, obviously people are
that's
thinking
where
about
people's
this.
minds run to. Yeah.
But that part is important. I guess maybe that's the reason why people are thinking about it is because it's so important to them. So their minds run there because they know just how important it is, and it is very important. Sex is important in marriage. We can't run away from that. And if you don't want to have sex, then don't get married. Don't get married. And if you are married, then just know that
it's part and parcel
of it. And the Bible says you need to give to your husband or to your wife what is due to them, and that's your body. So anytime is tea time, right? But also above just sexual affection, have an abundance of non-sexual affection, right? Everyday touch.
Yeah.
Today, did you touch your husband? Did you touch your wife? I'm saying touch like our son. Did you touch your wife? You know?
Yeah.
Did you touch your wife? Do you know what your husband's or your wife's touch feels like?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about bumping into each other here. I'm talking about intentionally touching, you know, like you mentioned, cuddling, because all these things are so important that if you don't do them, you open up a door in your marriage that might be so hard to close. Some people out there are huggers, like me. I'm a hugger. Some people out there, they're just physically affectionate, and you don't want to open that door in your marriage where you deprive your wife or you deprive your husband a touch that comes so easy from other people outside, because you put them in a very difficult space, of saying, I'm not getting this thing at home, and now when someone does it, and that person probably is not even thinking
anything, they're just
they're
being
not
themselves.
being malicious, they're just being themselves. They are huggers, they are just touchy, you are creating a huge void in your spouse's emotional needs, because affection really speaks to the emotions. You are creating a huge void by just not being affectionate enough with your spouse.
Yep. Number 3, support during tough times. It is standing by each other during challenges and offering emotional and practical support. For example, when one partner faces health issues, right, and the other one must step up and take more household responsibilities without complaining.
Yeah.
Right? And things don't have to be put on hold until the other one gets better.
Yeah.
I know of situations like that where the other person cannot perform their duties and they have to wait. They just have to wait on them until you figure out yourself, and then they will resume when you are there. But you must be able to support your partner during tough times, right? If it can be done and you can do it, help out your partner, help out your spouse. What supporting your spouse does for them is that it builds confidence in them about you. It tells them that you care and they can lean and depend on you. I always say this, marriage is a partnership, right?
Yeah.
And supporting your partner is one of the ways that solidifies this partnership, where your spouse knows that you are always there and that they are a priority and they are important to you.
Yeah.
You know your marriage is doing well when you don't have to beg for support from your spouse, or asking for support comes with anxiety because you know that you are going to be denied or your request is going to cause conflict. When you are tired from a long day's work and you ask your spouse, please cook today, I cannot cook. And then there's war. Baghdad erupts, then there's just a war that is coming up to say that women of the old times didn't get tired. You want me as a man to cook? What did I marry you for? And it just becomes this war that doesn't, you don't know where it comes from. But you know that it is your partner's desire and it is their pleasure to support you when you need it. It becomes an automatic thing for them or to you to come to the rescue and hold your hand when needs be.
Yeah. Wow. And then number
7. Yeah,
I'm so lost now. There's so many of these things. Number 7, laughter and fun. So your marriage is doing well when there's laughter and there's fun. And let me start this with a preface. It doesn't mean your marriage is not doing well. if you are going through a time where there's no laughter
Yes.
and there's no fun.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's we are not prophets of doom, but your marriage is gonna get there. So if you are in that space right now, we are praying with you. We really hope and pray that there is there is light at the end of the tunnel. There actually is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, the sad thing only is that we can't carry this burden with you at this moment unless except through prayer. You know, but you're gonna get through this. Hold on, keep praying and keep believing. You're gonna get
And
through
stay
this.
close.
And stay
right?
close. Yeah, when these things happen, stay as close as you can. It's funny how we're
because
talking
it's
about
when you
this.
are together that you're going to fight through. Right?
That
apart you're
spirit
going
of
to be conquered.
unity, you know, is needed, especially now that you are going through all of this. I was about to say, it's so funny that we are talking about laughter and fun, and then we go straight to no laughter and no fun. You know, but we just wanted to put that out there. But it's one of the signs that your marriage is doing well, is that when there's just laughter, you know, and there's fun. You don't even know where the laughter is coming from. You don't even know where the fun is coming from, but it's there. I enjoy you, man. You are enjoying me.
I'm thinking of a couple that we know. The wife is always laughing. You know, she is always laughing. And I'm like, and you look at the husband.
With the husband who's serious.
he throws in a joke and he's so serious. And the woman is just flat laughing. But they are always laughing, and I love that about their marriage.
You know, and that's it. Just shows that they have a healthy a healthy way of laughter and fun in their marriage, right? And that's what we need. All of us need that, because life will always throw stones at us. You know, we can either take those stones and remain hurt, or we just create an environment in our marriage that allows us to go through life, even in its challenges, with so much laughter and with so much fun. You know, we spoke about this in our previous episode again, having inside jokes, you know, making sure you watch funny videos together. You know, it's just a way of emotional release that you get, especially when you do this with your spouse, right? And apart from emotionally releasing stress, it also creates a lot of emotional connection. You know, when you laugh together as a couple, when you create fun times together as couples, you know. And as I mentioned, these fun times will not always last forever. But when you have an opportunity to have fun, why not? You know, don't wait. I don't know, why would you be waiting anyway? You know, if you can just have fun now. At some point in your lives, that fun won't be there. But when that happens,
it will be difficult to come by.
You know, it will be so difficult to come by. But when that happens, you need to be able to say, gosh, we had fun. You know?
I'm reminded of a couple that we once went out with for lunch, and they said in their honeymoon they had I think they took a loan of something. 120,000. They blew it. They blew it, you know.
Please, guys, don't do that.
They hired a convertible. They bought iPhones cash. You know, they were just on a spending spree. Come back from the honeymoon. They were like, what the hell did we just do? But today,
and they were laughing about it.
They were laughing so hard. You know, today they look back on that memory and they are just laughing. And even then they were laughing. They were like, what did we do?
They looked at the thing. They're like, what did we do? And they just laughed at
they
themselves.
Laughed, right?
And
they are in 120 debt, but they are laughing, you know. So I'm just reminded by them.
I think we sometimes we take life too seriously, that we sometimes fail to see the jokes that God gives us, you know. I think God has a very great sense of humor,
yeah.
you know. But we need to be at God level to understand it. And it's really just being childlike, you know. That's the God level I'm talking about, by the way. Just being childlike, and receive fun, you know, and give out fun. You know, it's important. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been married. You can create moments of fun and moments of laughter in your marriage, and it's gonna help your marriage grow a big way, you know. It's gonna help your stress levels decrease, you know, to the lowest point. It's gonna help your emotional connection grow to the highest point. And that's what you need. You need to always be able to find ways to decrease the stress levels and, you know, increase your emotional connection as a couple. And that helps your marriage.
Okay, number 8, trust and reliability.
Yeah.
In a marriage or relationship, you must trust each other, and you must rely on one another when needed. For example, if one of you promises to handle a task, the other knows that it will be done without having to follow up because they promised, right?
Yeah.
Being able to trust your spouse comes with so much peace and confidence in them, because you never have to doubt or second guess anything. You trust them. You know that they keep and honor their word and they follow through. You know that their words and promises are reliable. Also, trusting your spouse to stay true to their vows to you, and knowing that you can rely on them to be and stay faithful to you.
Yeah.
You are doing well in your marriage when trust and reliability are not questionable.
Yeah.
But it is something that you both are sure of in your marriage and you enjoy on a daily basis.
Yeah. I want to say trust is not only important but fragile. You know, you take years to build trust. It will take just 1 second to destroy everything you've built in years. So when it comes to matters of trust, do all you can to maintain it. It's one area of our marriage that we cannot
afford
to take our eyes off, because you move your eyes from trust, 1 second it's gone. You know, so it needs to be continually maintained. It needs to be continually taken care of, and not only just taken care of but actively grown. You know, and that's just how important it is. I mean, it's a reflection of, I think trust is one reflection of who God is, because God is trustworthy. You know, if he says he will do something, he will do it. And therefore, if we want to be a good example of who God is in our marriage, then trust needs to be that one thing that we have that we cannot compromise on, you know, and make sure that we build that trust, but we also maintain that trust. Number 9, healthy conflict resolution. So you know your marriage is doing well when there's healthy conflict resolution. And I think a lot of people are struggling with this, you know, where, you know, babe, we've had quite a lot of, if not all the couples we've had, say, every time we try to talk, we fight. You know, especially when we're trying to resolve something, we just get into a fighting mode. And I think it's because many couples just don't have a healthy way of resolving issues. You know, what does healthy conflict resolution look like? It means where there is conflict, we still solve problems as though we are lovers. You know, I don't express my feelings to you and express my unhappiness to you as though I don't love you and you don't love me. That still needs to be at the back of my mind when I approach you, even with my grievances, to say, look, I love you with all my heart, with all my body, with all my soul, with everything that's in me. but I'm still not happy with 1, 2, 3. You know, and it comes out in how you voice out your frustrations.
Yeah.
Because I can still say, let's say for argument's sake, I am not happy with how you cook. Well, that's the only example I have right now.
Okay.
Let's say I'm not happy with that. How I approach you and how I say that can still say, without me saying, it can still say, I love you with all my heart, with all my soul, you know, even though, like with everything that's in me, but I don't like how you cook, you know, and the message can communicate both things to you without us fighting.
Yeah.
And that's what healthy conflict resolution does. It helps us be able to communicate our frustrations without hurting the next person. You know, because many people, when they are unhappy about something, they want the other person to feel the
what they
unhappiness.
feel, yeah.
You know, and that's why when you approach that situation, you approach it, but you do this all the time. You know, you do this all the time. I tell you, we've spoken about this before. We've spoken about it yesterday, and now we're talking about it.
You
again.
fight your partner. You fight your spouse.
Rather than expressing just.
Yeah. Rather than wanting to solve the issue, right? When you are in conflict. The focus should be solving the issue. Yes. Right? Approaching your focus must be on the issue and not
fighting
on the that's why you use words like I instead of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I spoke to you about how I feel the last time, that when you do this is how I feel, right? Not I told you the last time. You don't listen. How many times must I say this to you, right? So you are attacking, and the only response you're going to get is defense. Right? With someone with equal aggression back at you. But when you focus on the issue and not attacking your partner, the response is going to be different.
It becomes different. So the approach in a healthy conflict resolution solves a lot of problems. Many battles when it comes to conflict are won at approach level, not at conversation level. That first approach to say, "Han, can we talk?" You know, sit down. You start off nicely, got your appreciation, you know, and butter them in. You are working with emotions here, so you need to be cautious of how you drop the bomb, you know. So I like how you do it. You start off the appreciation. Oh, look, you know, you do this. I love it when you do 1, 2, 3. I love it when you do 1, 2, 3. And now it feels so good. Like, I'm the man. You know,
and then at bombshell,
then until you drop the bomb, you know, and that's really important on how. I mean, you learn your partner, you know how they take things, you know, and if you approach your partner and your partner is defensive, the first time you approach them, track back a bit and look at your approach and find out, was this approach the best approach I could do? Yeah. And evaluate, and the next time take a different approach. See which approach they receive better. In that way, you'll find the best approach to approach them, and you'll always use that. And like I said, conflicts are always resolved at approach level. True. Once your approach is right, there's no conflict that's going to go beyond you. You know?
I always say there's always a better way.
Yeah.
There's always a better way to say something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's not what you say that is important, right? But it is more important how you say it. Right? Yeah. So your voice must be okay, lack of a better word. Your body language must be okay, right? your demeanor must be okay,
Yeah.
so that you are received well.
Yeah.
But if that is not in check,
Yeah.
everything's going to crumble
Yeah.
and fall.
If you come
Fired up,
fired up,
Yeah.
holding spears, holding a shield, it's gonna be
ammunition
war.
and all.
It's war. So a healthy conflict resolution really means disagreements are there, but they are handled calmly. They are also handled respectfully. We spoke about respect in the beginning of this episode. Conflict resolution also focuses on the solution rather than winning the argument.
Yeah.
Because as we always say, if you win the argument, you've lost something more important, and that's your marriage. Don't ever strive to win the argument. Always strive, even in disagreements, always strive to win your
partner.
wife over or your husband over, because that's the ultimate goal, is that we find oneness. And if we can't find oneness, then we need to find other ways. Other ways, I mean compromise.
Yeah.
If we can't find oneness in a specific area, that means we need to find common ground, and that's where we both are like, okay, I can't get my way, you can't get your way. What's one way we can do this?
Where we can meet in the middle.
Where we can meet in the middle. You are happy, I am happy. A resolution where only one partner is happy is not a resolution at all. There's no resolution. Let's just start this conference all over again.
Yeah.
So prioritizing, it's really about prioritizing the relationship more than prioritizing
Self.
having a win, or having your way. And that's so important, because if you prioritize your relationship, it will always show up in how you approach the matter, because the end goal will always show up. At the end of the day, we will know if the priority was the relationship, or the priority was the you getting your point across, right? Healthy conflict resolution also means you both have emotional control. We spoke about this in our previous episode. Emotional control. It also means there is willingness from both partners to apologize. There is willingness to forgive from both partners. It also means there is the readiness to restore the relationship after
All is said and done.
all is said and done. So if we are not agreeing about finances and where finances should go, it means once we have found the resolution, we both will sit down and draft the new budget, and put all the things that we've just agreed upon regarding our finances in that budget. That just shows that we are both ready to come and reunite to work towards this same goal, and that's what a healthy conflict resolution does for your marriage. It creates a lot of growth, and it demands a lot of growth. Because all these things, you can't do them unless you are emotionally intelligent. First of all, you need to. It demands for emotional intelligence, but it also demands that you are respectful to your partner. It demands that you do all these things knowing that you still love your partner. They're still not your enemy. Many people in relationships, fight as though they are not in love, and that becomes the problem. If you are going to fight, if you are going to not even fight, argue or disagree as though we are enemies, then the resolution is going to be found a long time after, when we have broken so many other things. So even when you disagree, let's disagree on the subject, but let it not affect how much I love you. Let it not affect our love and our marriage.
I must still know that you love me.
Yeah,
right?
I can
at the
say
end of it all.
I don't agree with your opinion, and on the other hand, you shouldn't be hearing, I want to fight you now. You should
I don't love you.
Yeah, or I don't love you. You must still, in how I say to you, you must still hear, I love you so much, but I don't agree with what you are saying. And that's how a healthy, if your marriage has that, if your marriage has that nice way of resolving things, I mean, it might not even be the things that we've mentioned here, but if your marriage has that, then your marriage is doing well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 10 and the last one, gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah.
You must regularly express gratitude for each other and acknowledge the little things your partner does for you, right? And you must often say thank you for every action, right? Yeah. Like making coffee in the morning for your partner, right? Say thank you.
Yeah.
Them taking care of the kids, thank you, right? Showing that you don't take them for granted.
Yeah.
Just because you and your spouse are married and are in a dependable partnership, then it means they must do things for you and the home, right? Even their roles and responsibilities, it really doesn't take away anything from you to say thank you to them, right? And to appreciate them for what they do for you and for what they do in the marriage. You see your partner going out of the way and making life easy for you, and you think to yourself, no, indoda must, right? Imama must, right? You don't appreciate the home cooked meal. I mean, now it's winter and you see your wife Batong cooking dombolo and stew, when they could have cooked you salad and chicken. But because of the weather today, they decided, you know what, I'm going to put my foot in the pot and I'm going to cook, soul food, warm food. And you don't appreciate. It's not about the food, it's not about anything, but you see your partner going out of their way to accommodate you and make your life easy, and you don't say thank you. Right?
Let's press pause on that. Thank you, babe, for cooking. Wow. Because this woman does the things in the pots, guys. So thank you, babe. Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome.
I think you're doing stew today, ne? Is that stew that I saw? I saw it.
Oh my goodness. And yeah, man, wives, when your husband say today, let me just help out with washing the baby, bathing the baby today, washing the dishes, say thank you. Don't say it's your child. A fish cannot be applauded for swimming. I normally hear this kind of comments that a fish cannot be applauded for swimming. Hey, appreciate your spouse, right? Appreciate them. It goes a long way, right? And this is what gratitude and appreciation does for your partner, right? It fuels your partner. It says to them, I see you. I see what you do for me. I appreciate you and I appreciate what you do for me, right? Your marriage is doing well when there is gratitude and appreciation, because it says to your spouse, I value you in our marriage and I am grateful and I don't take you for granted. Yeah.
Wow, this was a good episode. I loved this one. I think above all, what we are trying to say is your marriage is doing well. We call this podcast Finding Beauty in Marriage. If you are not looking, you will not find. And we are trying to say the reason why many people feel that their marriages are boring, their marriages are not beautiful,
they are not happy,
they are not fulfilling, it's because they are not looking for those things in their marriage. They are probably looking into their marriage from the lens of another marriage, and that will always make you and your marriage look like you are not achieving anything. There'll always be someone doing greater things than you. There'll always be someone doing much better than you. But it doesn't mean you are not doing extremely good. It's just, you can be extremely good and still feel, if you are going to compare your marriage with another couple and still feel like you are not doing anything. And guess what? There's someone who's looking at your marriage right now, and you can quote me on this. No matter where you are, when you are married, there's someone looking up to your marriage, and that's where we want you to always. That's why we want you to always know that you are doing good. You know, you might not have ticked all the 10 boxes that we've spoken about today, but it still doesn't mean your marriage is not doing well. Good. You know, it in fact means you have a nice room of improvement. You know, it means you. First of all, it means you are not perfect. It proves the fact that you are not perfect. And therefore there'll always be room for improvement. Even us, as we speak about these things, we are not competent in all of them.
Definitely.
Right? And that's room for improvement for us.
For us as well.
And so don't beat yourself up. Maybe you listen to the 10 points and you only notice
thinking we
like,
have it on lockdown.
Yeah, or you think there's like 4 that your marriage has, you know?
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up because you didn't score 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, take it as an opportunity for growth. Take it as an opportunity to have fun with your spouse.
Yeah.
Take it as an opportunity to grow with your spouse.
Yeah.
Because above everything, it's about growing with your spouse. You know, growing with your spouse makes better marriages.
True.
You know, so take this, make sure it's a lesson for your marriage. It's a lesson for you, and use this in your marriage to grow. As we said when we began, at least now you have something, you know, to weigh some parts of your marriage with, rather than not having anything at all. So, with that being said, this is the end of our episode today. We hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, keep sharing, and please remember, leave those comments below and leave those questions in the comments section below, so that we can have that episode, that Q&A episode. Remember, there's beauty in your marriage.
Show up and be present.
And keep loving. Bye-bye.